Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. Today I just want to have another cornucopia of images from China. In this particular video I am taking various home videos that you get on Douyin of various things that I find interesting about China and presenting them here. These videos are banned in the West. If not overtly, it's covertly. It's like Yahoo does shadow banning and blocks you. LinkedIn completely blocks you, and all this other kind of stuff. Donald Trump and John Bolton et al. Did a lot of activity in this regards, and it's still for the most part in place. Even though you have TikTok, you won't see these videos on TikTok because there is a censor group within TikTok that is established by the United States government to prevent movies or home videos that will violate national security. And the blanket of national security is, of course, very broad. So anyways, it doesn't matter. These are things you're not going to see in the West. I'll leave it at that.
Relationship's not the same. Tell me, boy, am I just a game? You never hold me in your arms and say you like my name. I'm telling to give it up. Break damage, but I can stop.
欲面情意，多少故事在心里。五月烟雨蒙蒙徜徉中，百年桥荷花静静。善恶皆会得报应，祸福自然有天理。姻缘桩桩似线牵，万事悠悠当自理。欲面情意，多少故事在心里。五月烟雨蒙蒙徜徉中。
The big news is, of course, the protests in China, and China is collapsing, and it's another Tiananmen Square and all this other nonsense. If you aren't aware that it's an American effort by the NED to cause grassroots uprisings, you're an idiot. Of course it is. And of course, the Chinese people aren't idiots either. It's a merit-driven society. And I can make a whole video about this particular subject, but keep in mind that natural Chinese people speak local dialects. Americans think that China speaks Chinese. No, they don't. When I studied Chinese, and when I went to China, the first thing that surprised me was they weren't speaking Chinese. Not locally, not amongst their friends, not at home. They spoke the local dialects. So you're having these outbreaks in all these other regions, and all the people are speaking Taiwanese or Mandarin Chinese with a Taiwanese or a Hong Kong accent. And then when the locals yell at them and swear at them and everything, they're bewildered. They don't even know what they're talking about. But that's part of it. It's a big joke right now in China. The United States is a big fucking joke. And I'll just give you one thing before I move on. The big joke going on is that they're being paid. The protesters, the instigators are Taiwanese or Hong Kong trained people, but the rabble are paid with something we call xiao fei, which is a tip. The direct translation is tip, but basically it's a red envelope. It's called xiao fei. It's a bundle of money. So here these people are thinking, okay, well, I'm going to be here for a whole day. So hell, you know, this is America, full of money. So they're expecting wads of US dollar cash in red envelopes, right? That's what they're promised. You know how much they got paid? 27 RMB. That's the price of a bowl of noodles at lunch. Yeah, no shit. America, the cheapskate. So it's not only that they can't even write in Chinese characters and they can't even speak without uncovering up their accents, but they don't pay jack shit. All these billions of dollars going to Ukraine and stuffing the pockets and everything, and they can't even afford 27 yuan. So anyways, America looks like a group of ignorant, stupid, greedy assholes in the eyes of the Chinese. And but of course the narrative has been set in motion in the Western press. The narrative is still going. China's collapsing right now. We have to save the poor Chinese. And you'll read the comments in the bottom of the sections. Oh, I wish that the Chinese people would stand up against the evil regime. It's like, and you know, the Chinese are looking at this stuff and going, and they're just fucking laughing. They're laughing. They're laughing at how stupid Americans are. They're laughing at how stupid the American government is. They're laughing at how the CIA and all the instruments of power, the NED, is just so damn incompetent. They're just laughing. And so that's what's going on right now. They're laughing. All right, but I'm not going to talk about that. If you want to see some great doom porn, go on, check China collapsing, type it in, and you can watch all kinds of nonsense being spewed. It's all nonsense, by the way, but you can watch it, you know, get your fix if you want to see doom and gloom stuff, you know.
要去走一走，山外还有山比山高，半山腰，一声惊雷有黄树梢，人外还有人忘不掉，你怀抱夜夜都是魂牵梦绕，爱恨情仇都付。I can feel it.
Rising my way, never lose my faith.
But here, I'm just going to show you the real deal. And this is what people are doing. These are just some videos. I think I threw one or two advertisements in there. I'm not being paid for these advertisements. I just think that they're really well done, and they tell you a little bit about technology and culture. It's like when you go to the United States and you see a billboard for a hamburger, you know, that's very American. A hamburger and fries for $9.99. You know, it's very American. You don't go to another part of the world and they say, I want that bowl of noodles. It'll be $9.99. They don't do that because it's all, that will be $1. That will be $2. You know, nobody does this kind of stuff. So these advertisements are very Chinesey, and it'll give you a flavor of what China's like. And also the level of technology. The level of technology in China has surpassed the United States. United States and the West, you guys kind of get the second-hand stuff now. Pretty soon it's going to be third-hand. Depends on what your government does. It's reaching a point right now that if you're in the United States, you can only wish for high-speed trains and rail stations like Laos, Zambia, and Nambia has. You can only wish to have 5G and 6G coverage like Asia has. You can only wish for that kind of stuff because you're never getting that in the United States. But let's, and now we've got everybody offended because I'm talking about this. You have to see life as it really is, and not as you want it to be. That's how propaganda works. They take what you know, then blame it on an enemy or a target. They say, they're the ones, not you. And then they blow it up and blow it up, make it big and make it big, because it's believable to you. You want to believe that everybody else is suffering like you are. And it's the same thing that's going on with this issue having to do with inflation. The belief is that inflation is a global problem. No, it's not. There's no inflation in Russia. There's no inflation in China. Okay? There's inflation in America and in American proxies. Inflation is tied with spending the currency of the nation. The currency of the nation is the US dollar in the United States. UK and Europe uses a lot of US dollars. They're intimately tied, so therefore inflation hits. And there's other factors as well. Basically, the bottom line is if you have a house and there's a member in the house that can't stop spending, your budget is going to be shit. And that will manifest in everything being harder to buy. You don't have the money to buy the kind of food you used to have. You don't have the money to pay for gas like you used to have. It's the same fucking thing. If you have a house of maybe 10 people, grandparents, kids, brothers, sisters, there's one person in that house that is just spending money like crazy. Your pool of money gets smaller and smaller. You can't afford food and gas and all this other kind of stuff that you normally would. In a big country, that effect is called inflation. I'm yelled at sometimes by people that say, I simplify things too much. I disagree. I think if you can't see things in the most simplest terms, then you are way lost in the forest. Too distracted by all the cute little nuts and berries and rabbits and leaves, and not seeing that the forest needs rain to grow and seeds to propagate. Anyways, you certainly don't want to hear me going on and on about this stuff.
This is not a crap game. Zero to 100.
On a personal note, I'm in lockdown. Yeah, I'm here in the office. Beijing has put new lockdown protocols, and basically everybody else can move about. You can move about, go to work, do all kinds of stuff. But if you're in a lockdown region, the areas where you where people collect, like restaurants, movie theaters, malls and stuff, they're locked down. So the lockdown is for that. Everybody else lives their life normally. Then the lockdown's lifted, everybody can go to malls and stuff. That's basically what it is. Meanwhile, everybody wears masks and does their QR for public transportation and all that. It's not as bad as everybody seems to think in the West, but it's called real life, it's called reality, and that's just pretty much the way it is. It's not all that bad.
相遇在人海，聚散在重逢之外。醒来的窗台，等着月光洒下来。不要太伤怀，相信缘分依然在，让时钟它慢慢摇，滴滴答答等你来。看云水漂流，看着落叶被带走，泪湿的枕头，正淡潮湿的温柔。等到下一个春秋，等到秋叶被红透，让那指针慢慢走，停在花开的时候。不是因为寂寞才想你，只是因为想你才寂寞。当泪落下的时候，所有风景都沉默。因为有你爱，所以宽容。因为思念时光走得匆匆，月光轻轻把梦偷走。所有无眠的夜，想你够不够？
可不可以买一碗热汤面？就一碗汤面吗？大过年的也不加2个菜，吃碗热乎的就行。一碗汤面，谢谢你。妈，你不吃啊？老婆子，
不要说了。
老板，结账。
要的，5块。
可不可以再给我们来一碗汤面？
要的，汤面1碗啊。
妈，我回头发现今年的面比去年的多。老板，结账。哎，怎么不客气？今天的面够2个人吃，我应该付2份钱。来，干口一会再给你3个半。人家要不来你认识，不想死给你分。对不起啊，今年我们又来晚了。今年吃啥子？今天我们要2碗。好，马上来哈。妈妈，今天要跟你们说一句谢谢，因为2年以前你们的爸爸出去世，咱们欠了你们很多钱，所以我要谢谢小朋友每天认真的送到，谢谢小虎每天为我们妈妈做饭，我们才能够安心的在那里打工。我们就把所有欠下的钱都还完了。妈妈，我们也有一件高兴的事儿。1个月之前，小虎的老师出了一篇关于温暖的作文。
为了回来，妈妈从早到晚拼命工作。2年的2月31的晚上，她在我的车里吃口热乎可口的。因为不是3人走了很远，只走到了临街的小馆。我们3人只将了1碗汤面。渐渐的，伯伯和伯母虽然最后还向我们道谢，并且祝我们新年快乐，那声音好像在鼓励我们坚强勇敢的活下去。
哪个位置是你做的？老板，您这汤面还卖5块钱一碗。
老板娘，不好意思，我们特意来你们这个面馆上看看。
好吃好的很。
过很久很了，我从没想
1年、3年、7年、无期、死刑。
And so I'm kind of in lockdown. I want to do other videos. I did some other videos. Doesn't mean that life is all rosy now. A lockdown is a lockdown. I have to go through a whole bunch of roadblocks and checkpoints to get anything done. I have to constantly show my QR code. I have to constantly make sure that my QR code is active, and I have to do my daily testing. And because everybody's doing it, the lines can be long. And that's a pain in the butt. So it's not all roses and sunshine. Anyways, now about these videos. Like I said, there's just going to selection, a hodgepodge of a couple of videos, just some quick blurbs. These are videos of Chinese people showing their life, their ideas, and it just kind of shows you what China's all about. It's the next best thing of being here. I'm refraining from the National Geographic beautiful sights and scenes of the mountains of Guilin and stuff like that. You know, you can go ahead and see that kind of stuff. China's a big country with a lot of beautiful vistas and all kinds of stuff like that. But I'm more interested in the personal aspect, the society, and how it manifests. I hope you enjoy these videos, and I hope you get something out of them. Let's go watch some.
3个月来，你们转战江西、湖南，勇斗洪水，立下了赫赫战功。我代表集团军党委，谢谢你们。
能还百斤沙袋的手却难得酒杯啊
90年代的兵也能打仗。
My name is American McGee, and I'm a game designer and product designer living in Shanghai, China.
我叫张燕，我是服装设计师，然后现在我们是我们自己品牌的主理人。
From my perspective, China has been the hub of innovation, creativity, and advancement. And it's one of the reasons why I moved here. It's also one of the reasons why I stay in China, is because every day you wake up here and you will find something new. My first impression came when I went to Xintiandi in Shanghai and I saw the car, and my eyes almost exploded out of my head because I hadn't seen anything like that before. It actually reminded me of a kind of childhood dream of owning a spaceship, flying car, something from the future. When I was living in Texas, I drove a Ferrari. So this is something that's very fast, but not practical. Then as I got older and we started a family, I needed to have something that can carry children and groceries and a lot of people around. So actually when I saw the Hi-Fi, it was my dream car because it's combining together the supercar plus the SUV. And this car makes it very easy to push one button and open up this space so that the person can go to the back. And for us every day,
它让我感觉是生活在未来，不是生活在现在。很多人的想法是生活在经典，但是这辆车给我的感觉是未来。所以像我们作为设计师来说，我很喜欢打破常规、打破格局，去做一些新的东西、新的探索。
As the Hi-Fi X owner, the thing that really first attracted me and resonated with me, like in my soul, was listening to the Dinglei talk about this car being a design car by designers and in some way for designers and dreamers and explorers. So when I heard that, when I saw that and put together with the car, it's really captured my heart.
谈点让人羡慕的美好爱情。
这一路上走走停停，顺着少年河流的痕迹，迈出车站的前一刻，竟有些犹豫。不禁笑着，清香亲切，仍无可避免。而长夜的天依旧那么暖，风吹起了从前。从前初识这世间，百般流连，看着天边似在眼前，也甘愿扑通到过去走它一遍。如今走过这世间， 百般流年，翻过岁月不同层面，猝不及防闯入你的笑颜。我曾暗自把愿世界最好，也是你情中梦话，不得真假，不做挣扎，不惧笑话。我曾将青春翻涌成她，也曾指尖弹出盛夏，心之所动，且就随缘去吧。逆着光行走，任风吹雨打。短短的路走走停停，也有了几分的距离。不知抚摸的是故事，还是段心情？也许期待的不过是与时间为敌。再次见到你，微亮晨光里，笑得很甜蜜。时间百般流连，看着天边死在眼前，也甘愿不等到过去走它一遍。如今走过这世间百般流连，翻过岁月不同层面，猝不及防闯入你的笑颜。我曾暗自把世界之大，也沉迷于其中梦话，不得真假，不做挣扎，不惧笑话。我曾将青春翻涌成她，也曾指尖弹出盛夏，心之所动，且就随缘去吧。晚风吹起你鬓间的白发，抚平回忆留下的疤，你眼中明暗交杂，一笑生花，暮色遮住你蹒跚的步伐，走进床头长起的花，花中的你低着头说话。我仍感叹于世界之大，也沉醉于人世情话，不想真假，不做挣扎，不为笑话。我从将青春还给了他，连同指尖弹出的盛夏，心之所动，就随风去了。以爱之名，哦，你还愿意吗？
When I see you, you feel see me calling. See some nick come your mind. Man, you knew and lo near lo teach your answer that night.
小小的风飘长的离别，我却听不见。穿越千年的眼泪，只有梦里感。
Wow, this is cool. This is the wow. Welcome.
各位，你现在看到的这辆超级跑车，它可不是一辆普通意义上的超跑。不信，你先听下它启动后的声音。下面我们再来后面看下它的排气筒。你没看错，它排气筒里喷出的全是水，因为它是一辆氢能源超跑。 它就是美国初创造车公司 Hyperion 旗下的首款氢燃料电池超跑 XP1。Hyperion 应用了美国 NASA 的航天技术，其中包括氢气系统、发电技术和高性能材料技术。为了控制车身重量 ，XP1 采用强化复合材料打造车身，超轻太空级铝合金双叉臂悬挂、碳纤维复合材料的后尾部、扩散器，以及碳陶砂车盘和碳纤维轮毂等。此外，车身侧面2条类似于翅膀的元件，可以作为太阳能电池板，为车身进行充电。它可以根据太阳光的入射方向进行调整。这种结构可以在车的各个方面改善高速转弯的性能。而放置发动机的地方则被氢燃料储藏容器所代替。氢燃料的储藏罐则是采用高强度的碳纤维设计，最大程度地减轻了车身重量。接下来，我们进入车内看一看。先看一下它的车钥匙，也是相当的科幻。坐进车里后，仿佛有种置身于飞船座舱的感觉。把钥匙放到扶手处的发光感应盘上后，车辆直接启动。下面我们就来看一下，开着这台车上路后，它的表现如何。该车氢燃料电池产生的电能通过一个3速变速器传递，它的100公里加速时间为2.2秒，最高速度超过356千米每小时，续航里程超过1600公里。该车全球限量300台，并于2022年开始交付。
双手甩开刚好的微妙，然后战火在燃烧，我们背对背拥抱，来用沉默在欢笑，爱情来不及变老，葬送在风过的玩笑。想让我知道，只是想让你知道，爱的警告。不要一直到心头破路变成死角，既然可以拥抱，就不要轻易放掉。
欢迎欢迎！哎呀，已经握上手了。
对，这是节点舱。
节点舱终于来了！
中国红月亮，永远值得期待。
成长的路上几程曲折，我以汗水浇灌梦想花朵，任凭谁冷眼嘲我或轻我，都会风轻云淡一笑而过。在我的心里有另一个我，陪我共同面对孤单寂寞。当现实背叛，累了倦了痛了，学会洒脱。不要累着了，你哪里？是你输了，大叔。是。
顽强，希望的说和你老是多少期待在清晰。
层云叠嶂，遮不住我锐利的锋芒。你听啊，是呐喊才会响。只要你目光是瞄准月亮，迷失不拥有何妨？在星辰之间流浪，也不负这场勇往。你未必光芒万丈，但始终温暖有光。愿多年之后回想，人不会少年模样。
狂荡不惧任何大风浪，连峰台下我无解，随那竹楼千古雪。我条剑舞，万花春骨，许上踏遍骏马行处。
表情离开了森林，斟酌天空很归心，蝴蝶不再被吸引，玫瑰盛开得很安静，远方的风雨不停，城市上百而孤寂，徘徊无助的人群，焦虑着何时放晴。故事里的未来的只有风景，谁也摧毁不了我们的。
不好意思啊，稍微出现点故障，稍微等一下。
And that was that. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had some fun at least. Learned something new maybe. Maybe you're going to buy a car. Huh? Who knows? But anyways, just you know, enjoy life and don't get caught up on all the lies. It just seems to me that the world right now is spinning on a blanket of lies that are just totally bonko gonzo. They're just a bunch of lies. And I hope that wherever you're at, you're enjoying it. There's a lot of good things in this world. There really are. I hope that all of you are able to taste it, enjoy it, and experience the pleasure of it. And with that, people, know that I believe in you. I really do. Have a good one. Have a good day. And be the best you can possibly be. Even if you're having a hard day, just try to crack a smile. Take care, people. And remember, I believe in you. Bye-bye.
是否有梦？当然，过着现代过。
下，说了别慌，他说不答应。紧闭双眼，才能看得见。
我回来喽。
温暖鲜艳过的画面。
奶奶。
你看，
哇，好漂亮！你怎么有个小发卡？我本想买烤红薯，最后一个烤红薯被人买掉了。
你在干嘛？
你看我眼睛都起雾了，我蹲在地上吃。
整座天空很灰心，蝴蝶不再被吸引，玫瑰盛开得很安静，远方的风雨不停，人生苍白而孤寂，徘徊无助的人群，焦虑着何时放弃。
回忆掉进了大海，可能有些往事回不来，可能岁月会偷走等待，爱了很久，也许会分开。我们一同喜欢着现在，我们曾经被别人取代，我们都有类似的遗憾，所以一起漂流在人海，回不去的阴霾。从此都种在我的脑海，月亮下的对白，单纯的像小孩。你有好几次问我那是什么，这就是爱。渐渐的忘记，赶不上。这爹娘都已白了头，儿的心里真的好难受，多想把爹娘青春挽留，恨透时光这么快的走，不禁想起儿的小时候，常常骑在你们的肩头，忙忙碌碌多少春秋，为了儿女吃尽了苦头，想给老爸斟满一杯酒，想给老娘梳一梳头，可惜儿在外不能陪左右，爹娘的情怀也还不够，想起爹娘泪儿流，身体健康牵挂我心头，不知下回见面什么时候，爹娘的情怀也还不够。想起儿的小时候，常常骑在你们的肩头，忙忙碌碌多少春秋。你这一辈子有没有为别人拼过命？这个
始至终全是你，让我投入太彻底。不是如果注定悲剧，何苦给我美丽演出相聚和别离？没有星星的夜里，我用泪光吸引你。既然爱你不能言语，只能微笑哭泣，让我从此忘了你。没有星星的夜里，我把往事留给你。如果一切只是演戏，要你好好看戏，心碎只是我自己。
So yesterday I replied to a tweet from the US ambassador to China, Nick Burns, and I was quite surprised when I found out it went somewhat viral here in China. His tweet was basically trying to blame China and its current military drills around the island of Taiwan for disrupting the status quo of many decades in the region, when I think he knows full well that it was his mate Nancy who upset the apple cart. He quoted his other mate Ant, who said, "There's no justification for this extreme, disproportionate and escalatory military response." And then he said the world should hold Beijing accountable to maintain the peace, which was really quite hilarious. Because the world already knows who disturbed the status quo and peace in the region, and it wasn't China. In regards to Nancy's visit to Taiwan, more than 160 countries have already expressed their condemnation of her provocation and support the One China principle. That's more than 80% of the world's population. And that's what makes this whole US schizophrenia so laughable. The Biden administration is like a snake with 8 heads, all pulling and hissing in different directions. But why did my tweet go viral? Well, I'll read it. I replied to Nick and said, "Hey Nick, you can fool yourself, but you can't fool the world. It's absolutely clear that the one who threatened the status quo in the Taiwan Strait was the US and Nancy Pelosi. Back off." And here comes the killer analogy. Nancy basically farted in the elevator and then bolted out as the door was closing. I don't know, I guess people found that quite humorous. Not only because it seems entirely apt, but also because it's somewhat crass and treats US officials, including Nancy Pelosi and Ambassador Burns, as they've proven to be. Spoiled, irresponsible, unreliable, untrustworthy children. They don't deserve China's respect after what Nancy did. They don't deserve to sit at the same table as the adults anymore. Nancy's visit to Taiwan, despite numerous top-level dialogues between China and the US urging her not to, will go down in history as one of the stupidest things the US government has ever done. I think Nick knows that, and that's why my reply to his tweet hit such a chord with so many people. We live in a new world today following Nancy's narcissistic breach of Chinese sovereignty. It's not World War III like they hoped and dreamed, but a world which understands completely that the US is a reckless, fading power, a power that acts selfishly and with contempt, trampling on the sovereignty and dignity of anyone they deem is in their way. But the difference now is that everyone sees it clear as day. And that, I think, is why my tweet went down so well with so many ordinary Chinese.
丈夫许诺是为心死，我们的后人会记住这一切，我们的国家会记住你们所做的这一切，你们